SportsBettingCFB.com.
Blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Sports Betting Show wants you to get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy. And if you want to build your dream team today for this weekend, use their easy mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And right now, for a limited time, when you sign up with the promo code WIN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code WIN.
And we're live tweeting it on my Twitter account at Philly Godfather. We got a special guest today, living legend, Philly legend, Harry Mays. Harry, those Phillies let us down, brother, man. What happened there?
Well, you know, it's simple. They're built to hit home runs, and they didn't hit. I mean, that's the problem when you got guys, you know, that are sort of boom or bust players all throughout your lineup. I mean, they don't have enough guys that get on base. Like all those home runs they hit were solo homers too. Which was really quite startling. So I think they got to do something to alter that lineup a little bit. And, you know, hopefully I think, you know, if they re-sign Nola, I think they're going to have another chance to make another run next year.
Yeah, I mean, they look good down the stretch until they hit a hot Arizona, young Arizona team.
Yeah.
And they let everyone down. But it's all right. We got another year next year. Who do you like between the Rangers and before we start breaking?
Kind of like Texas.
You like Texas?
I kind of like Texas, yeah. You know, and I kind of want them to win, too, because they don't have one. Yeah. It's been quite a while when they had those great teams back in what was that, the mid-'90s when they went to a couple of ALCSs and playing up against the Yankees. They were pretty good back then, but and then a couple of years ago, I think they went and lost, but they don't have a World Series. I don't think Arizona deserves another one.
Well, let's cheer them in, Lane 175.
Yeah.
All right, let's get down to business, man. It's the college football show. Let's give out some games. Let me go to Rooster first. Rooster. Philly Rooster. You can find him on Twitter at Philly Rooster. You want to give one of those stronger games out this week that you like?
Yeah, I like Clemson minus 9.5 against NC State. I think that's not enough points. I know they're both 4-3, but Clemson has been coming on, and they're starting to show signs of the old Clemson, which I didn't think I would see this year. But that strong coaching is coming through strong. They're playing defense really well. The offense is starting to click. I really don't think 9.5 points is enough there. Some sharp money took 10.5 early in the week. Didn't take much money to move that line. I think it might be a setup, but I'm coming back and hitting Clemson minus 9.5.
Let me go to real Jamie Gold here. Jamie Gold, World Series of Poker champ. What's your favorite game of college football this week?
There's a few. One of them that I know is not going to be one that we probably would talk about, so I'll give this out first. I like Miami, Ohio, and Ohio to go under 40 is where I got it. It's now at 39. I'd probably still take it at 39, but I really like that under. I don't see a lot of scoring happening in this game.
All right. Matt Moltepes from the College Kids, one of my lead handicappers at the PhillyGodfather.com, just jumped on the show. Let me go to Matt then. Matt, real quick, you got a game you want to give out before we start breaking down this Tennessee-Kentucky game?
Yeah, hold on. I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Did you say I have a game?
Yeah, do you have a college football game that you like this week that you want to give out?
Yeah, well, I love the under 48 and Oregon, Utah. Right from the gate, we know these defenses for both teams were pretty damn good. And what you don't know is that the defenses Bo Nix has played have been not so good. The average rank of their opponents and the opponent yards per play metric comes out to an average rank of 90. Utah's going to be the best defense. They have first in that metric. And Utah is also the slowest team that Oregon will have versed. And it's not even close in that metric. So Oregon loves to throw the ball. Utah's the 8th best team in the nation in sack percentage while being a top 25 defense and opponent passer rating. And Utah will also be the worst team that Oregon would have faced in the offensive yards per play. So I really do love the under here. Went under 48. That's what I went big on.
Well, that's a great breakdown. Let me go to Sheep next. Sheep, Jimmy the Sheep Batista, the man, the myth, the legend. Jimmy, who do you like this week real quick?
I'm going against my Georgia Bulldogs. My play of the week in college football is I love Florida, and it's 14 and a half. I actually grabbed a 15, but I think this game closes 13. Wow. And I really like Florida a lot this week.
Harry, do you agree with Jimmy, or you like something else?
No, I like that too. No Brock Bowers, of course, the great tight end. A lot of pressure going to be on Carson Beck this week. With that Florida front, it's going to be interesting to see what they do without that tight end. I like the 14.5 as well with Florida, but I'm going to go with an under. I've been hitting a lot of unders in the Big Ten, and Michigan State at Minnesota, the total is 40. The Gophers, they've averaged 12 points in 3 of their 4 Big Ten games thus far this season. They're 3-4 to the under, averaging 20 points per game on for the entire season. Michigan State is a flat out mess. The whole program. They were shut out last week against Michigan, 49-0. They fired the coach. They got a lot of those kids are looking to move out of there or transfer out, from what I understand. I said 5 straight losses. It's going to be high temperature. It's going to only get to 34 degrees. It's going to be typical Big Ten middle of the season weather. A lot of wind, possible snow. I like Minnesota 20-13, and that game goes under.
I like it too, man. You just sold me on that, Harry. I also like the under in the Florida game. I went under 48 and 47.5. I mean, Brock Bowers is what? 27% of their passing production on the season. It's a big loss. You got 2 of the better defenses in college football. It's going to be a clash of the Titans. They used to call it what? The world's largest cocktail party. I know you know a little bit about that, don't you, Harry?
It is the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. I know you're not allowed to say that anymore, but I do.
All right, let me go to Rooster real quick. We got a quick 30 seconds before this segment's over. Real rapid fire. Anything else you like real quick you want to get up before we go to our next segment?
Yeah, well, I like, this Kentucky-Tennessee game might be one of the best games on the board. I like the dog here, plus 3.5. I know there's some pressure on the favorite from some sharps, but I'm on the dog.
So you like Kentucky? Yeah, well, they are at home, and they look pretty good this season. So let's hold that thought real quick. Jamie, real quick, you want to talk about our sponsor? We've got about 20 seconds.
Yes, that we have this great new sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. You get up to $500. They will match any first deposit with the code WIN, W-I-N, at underdogfantasy.com.
There you go there. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
The Sports Betting Show wants you to get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy. And if you want to build your dream team today for this weekend, use their easy mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And right now, for a limited time, when you sign up with the promo code WIN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com, and you're listening on Sirius XM, JAKIB Sports on YouTube, on Twitter, live streaming at Philly Godfather and JAKIB Sports. Okay, let's go to our next game on the board here. Tennessee. They're up next. Let me go to Rooster first. Who are you liking this matchup in this Tennessee game?
I just started to tell you about Kentucky, but at home, this game getting 3.5 points. They both beat Florida. I watched both of those Florida games, and to me, the Kentucky win was a little more decisive. Like I said, there's some sharp pressure on the favorite here, which surprised me. But I like the dog here. I think this game closes 3, maybe even 2.5.
Let me go to Matt Maltepis from the College Kids. Do you agree with Rooster here, or you like the other side?
So, the Volunteers will enter this one 4-3 against the spread with a 12.1 margin of victory, but they also have negative 3.4 against the spread plus minus. Kentucky's also 4-3 against the spread, but with the worst margin of victory. The line's currently 3.5, 4. Kentucky actually ranks higher in yards per play metric than this team. Tennessee's had a better defense thus far, ranking 11th in the nation in opponent yards per play. Tennessee has had a pretty tough strength of schedule this year, ranking right outside the top 10, while Kentucky hasn't even had a top 60 strength of schedule, according to my rankings. Tennessee had a chance to not only cover, but win that game last week against Alabama, but things went south. I think if this line hits 3, then you got to take Tennessee as the favorite.
We got some opposition.
But I haven't touched anything yet.
Jimmy, you like anyone here?
What I've been monitoring is sharp money is really someone's laying the money line on Tennessee. I mean, if they play the dog, as Matt said, I can grab maybe like 65 or 55 cents. I would only be a volunteer.
Let me go to Jamie Gold. Jamie, do you like anyone in this matchup?
I like Tennessee in the first half, giving 2.5. I think they're going to come out pretty strong. I just think they're a better team than Kentucky, and I think they're going to overpower them.
Let me go to Harry. Harry, Tennessee, before the season started, had a projected win total of 9.5. Kentucky 6.5. Is Tennessee the overall better team, top to bottom on the roster? Or you think Kentucky can shock them this week and win outright?
Yeah, I think Tennessee overall has better talent, but I think they're going to be a little deflated after that loss to Alabama last week, and I think they kind of come out not so sharp. I would take the 3.5 with Kentucky here. I mean, Tennessee's 0-2 against the number on the road so far this year. And I think they're going to be pretty pumped. This is a pretty big game for Kentucky.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest game of the season for them. The only thing that scares me is their defensive line, their sack percentage. They're ranked 82nd in the country, while Tennessee's ranked 7th. So you're going to have to get some pressure on Tennessee's quarterback, make him, throw maybe a couple interceptions. The turnover battle is going to be huge. Whoever wins the turnover battle here is going to win the game and cover the spread. And when you look at Leary, he's already got 7 interceptions on the year. And those boys from Tennessee, that defensive line, they're going to be bringing it. That's what scares me a little bit about taking a dog here. Me, myself, personally, I like Tennessee on the money line. I'm waiting for it to drop a little bit. I'm waiting for some dog money to come in, and I'm going to be on Tennessee on the money line. All right, let's switch up now. Let's go to championship odds. As of right now, Michigan's the favorite. I know Jamie's sitting pretty. I'm sitting pretty with 9-1, a 9-1 ticket on the Wolverines from the beginning of the season. Michigan's at plus 225. Sheep, like Georgia, they're now at plus 275. Florida State's moving up to plus 700. You got Ohio State at 7-1 as well. Washington dropping back a little bit at 12-1. Oklahoma's still hanging around at 14-1. Alabama could be a sleeper at 15-1. Their odds are dropping dramatically. Let me go to Rooster first. If you had to pick a team right now with those odds and that price, who would you pick?
Well, my Penn State shit the bed last week. Came out with horrible coaching, horrible play calling. That was the worst game plan I have ever seen in a college football game. And when he got punched in the mouth, his reaction was to do more of the same. I mean, this guy is a total fraud. I've had enough of Franklin. He's got to go. It's embarrassing to watch how he performed in the third and fourth quarter of that game. All right, now that's off my chest.
Hold on.
Wait. You can't just walk away like everything's good. Last week you were stroking it so hard. Penn State, the chest was out. The feathers were flocking.
Believe me, I know.
He's good at deflecting, ain't he? Shit, he deflected that right off the bat.
West Virginia, and he's going like, Baba, there's no way this is going to happen. I said, Rooster,
you sit there and pick Georgia, a blind.
No, Rooster. If you want to play,
and by the way, Georgia's got no
shot. Ohio State by 10. Oh my God, they won by 8. I'm sorry, I gave you a little leeway. Yeah. They weren't even in the game, Brewster.
They weren't, and it was bad. It was horrible play calling. They're more talented than them. They're a better team. Believe me, it was all coaching. Yeah. But anyway, right now, I kind of like Alabama to sneak into this thing. I really do. I don't think they're going to lose another game. 15-1, I think, is really the only value you see here. I kind of like Oklahoma, but they almost lost last week to Central Florida, which that game was crazy.
That was crazy.
I do like them a little bit this week against Kansas because I think it'll be a bounce-back game if you can lay 9.5. But overall, I like Alabama. NCAA wants them in. They're a ratings machine. So anything they can do to bend the rules to get them in, they're going to do it.
Yeah. Let me go to Harry. How do you feel about James Franklin, man? I mean, those kids were just as talented as Ohio State.
I bet them like an idiot last week. I was listening to the Rooster, I think, and I put money on Penn State like an idiot. Yurcich or whatever his name is.
Excuse me. Can you say that again, Harry? Please. Just
I think I was listening to the Rooster because I put a big one in on Penn State.
Oh, believe me, Harry's cost me a pretty penny in the past. This ain't our first rodeo with this guy. With his golf stick almost put me in the poorhouse a couple years ago.
Yurcich or whatever his name is, the offensive coordinator. He needs to go back to Shippensburg.
Oh,
he was a coach at Shippensburg not too long ago. That's where he belongs.
Let me go to Matt Maltempis from the College Kids. Matt, at those prices, is Alabama the right team to take right now, 15-1, or maybe you'd still like Oklahoma, Ohio State at 7-1? If they beat Michigan at last game of the season, they're in. And who's going to stop Marvin Harrison Jr.? That kid might win the Heisman.
Kid's a
So
stud.
I actually talked about him at one of the last episodes about how Ohio State was a solid bet because all they would have to do is beat Penn State, and then I think their last game of the year is against Michigan. I could be wrong.
No, it is.
And Penn State, I know Rooster talked about Penn State, and that was a good future, but I just thought Ohio State was a little bit better. Obviously, they beat them last week. So, I mean, I'm still, high on Ohio State because you get to that last game at 14-1. When I mentioned it a couple, 2 weeks ago, that last game is going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, it's everything. And as me, I'm holding a Michigan ticket. I might even look to hedge a little bit with some plus 700 money on Ohio State because, I mean, if they lose Ohio State's in, right? So there might be a little bit of a hedge ticket there. Oklahoma, I mean, they look like they were cruising. And then just when you think they're going to have it, an easy road, they almost get upset by a 3-3 UCF team, as at home at 17-point favorites. Yeah. So college football has been a crazy season this year. And now this week they got to go on the road. They're laying 10 against Kansas. And Kansas.
I think Kansas is without the quarterback, though. I think the backup's in.
But he's not bad. He's been putting up some good numbers. I mean,
pretty good.
What's his name? Jalen Daniels. If he plays, it's a different story. But
they got to go to Oklahoma State the next week, I believe.
It's rough. It's rough. But at 14-1, you got a little. Let me go to Jamie Gold. Jamie, at those prices, I know you're sitting pretty with that Michigan ticket that we both bet. Is there another team on that list that you may want to nibble on?
I understand the logic on the Ohio State bet, but I'm going to just stick with Michigan. I don't think Ohio State's going to beat Michigan. The way that I'm seeing it right now, I think Michigan's going to be just fine. They will make that Final Four. I thought Ohio State played decently, but I didn't think they played that great. I thought Penn State was just garbage. And it was really that I wasn't that impressed with Ohio State. Yeah, they have Marvin Harrison, but other than that,
Penn State's quarterback let me down a little bit. I thought he would play better, but there was so much pressure on that kid. He's a young kid.
He didn't have time to breathe.
He looked scared, didn't he, Harry?
Yeah,
he looked scared.
It's obvious they don't really trust him yet either.
Right, a lot of dink and dunk, a lot of short stuff, nothing too far down the field. So
I'm not looking at anyone else.
Nah.
At right now, but I think somebody will come up that has an interesting shot. Every week crazy things are happening in college football.
It'll line up perfectly for Harbaugh. He'll win the national championship, get the team suspended, and jump to the NFL.
Sounds like
that could easily happen.
Let me go to Rooster. Washington at 12-1. We bet it before the season started to win the Pac-12 at 5-1 and plus 475. But they also got a 3-game.
They got some tough games.
Yeah, USC, Utah, Oregon State. You think they got a shot to get in there?
No, I don't think 12-1's enough. They have not impressed me. They're up against some real competition these next 3 weeks. I guarantee they lose one of those games. And like I've been preaching, if Washington loses a game, they are out. There's absolutely no way they make it in. Same with Oklahoma.
Hold that thought. We're going to break. We'll be right back.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
The Sports Betting Show wants you to get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy. And if you want to build your dream team today for this weekend, use their easy mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And right now, for a limited time, when you sign up with the promo code WIN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. We're talking a little college football futures, national championship odds, and now we're going to break down some Heisman odds here. Current odds, J.J. McCarthy right now is the favorite at plus 240. Me and Rooster have been talking about him all year, how he's a sleeper. Michael Penix has dropped back to plus 320. Jaden Daniels of LSC's down to plus 340. Dylan Gabriel, Oklahoma, right around 11-1, depending on where you shop. Jordan Travis, 11-1, and Marvin Harrison Jr. has dropped down to 16-1. We actually bet him and gave him out before the season started at 50-1. Let me go to Rooster first. Rooster, you think Marvin Harrison Jr. has a shot here? I mean, he's probably the best player in college football. You think he's got a shot at 16-1 at the current number?
At 16-1, I think you got to take a little shot on him. I mean, this is a quarterback award, kind of like the NFL MVP. But they're talking about him like Megatron at this point. I mean, he is going to go very close to the top of the draft, even with this unbelievable quarterback class. And he is a dominating player. It doesn't matter. They're going to him, and they just cannot stop him. And I don't know if you guys noticed, Philly Godfather is a friend of his father's for many years. So he can probably get some insight for us. But, yeah, I think it's worth a 16-1 shot.
How much more insight you want? I gave him at the beginning of the year to win the Heisman. I mean, what else do you guys want? 50-1. Let me go to Harry. Harry, out of those prices, is Marvin Harrison Jr. the man, or maybe Dylan Gabriel? Who do you like?
Yeah, I took a little nibble on Marvin Harrison Jr. at plus 1,600 just before the show, actually. And the other guy that I would take a look at there is Jordan Travis, the quarterback at Florida State, because I think they're going to go undefeated. They're going to be in the playoff. And you go that far as a quarterback, I don't think Dylan Gabriel's got a chance. Jordan Travis, what's his number? 14, 15?
He's down to 11-1 now.
Oh, it's down to 11. I would take a little bite on Jordan Travis as well.
Let me go to Jamie Gold. Jamie, with those prices, I know your guy fell off, Williams.
Yeah.
Penix is falling back now. What do you think about Marvin Harrison Jr. at 16-1, or you like J.J. McCarthy? I mean, who would you take if you had to pick someone right now?
I mean, I would go with J.J. McCarthy, but the price is not right? It's all about the price, and so I think I like a little on Marvin Harrison. I think that if Brock Bowers was healthy, I think that he would have been the Marvin Harrison type choice. Of that, non-quarterback group, but he's out now, and so it's just so exciting to watch him play. He's, like we used to call the guy in the NFL Megatron. This guy is just like supernatural. It's amazing.
They're calling him Maserati Marv, which I don't know if I'm sold on that, but
yeah, I don't love that name.
That's Gus Johnson started that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how good that is. He's averaging 18 yards a catch. He's got 766 yards, receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. I think the bottom line is if they go down their last game of the season and they beat Michigan, and he has a monster game, how do you not give it to him, Harry?
They'll have to have a monster game if they're going to beat Michigan.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, seriously. And Manny Diaz, in his imminent wisdom, chose to go single coverage on him in that second half with Kalen King. I mean, that was a joke.
Unreal.
Michigan his head.
I almost threw my TV out the window in that game. That was painful to watch.
I would have loved to watch that game with Rooster.
Oh my God.
We would have destroyed something.
It was horrible.
Let me go to Jimmy. Jimmy, who do you like, man, out of all these guys? I mean, if you look at the court, Kyle McCord, he's not, he's completing 63% of his passes. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is having a monster season. So that even emphasizes how good this kid is. I mean, would you take him right now to win the Heisman or no?
He would probably be the only one I would bet right now, Harrison.
At 16
The rest of them, I don't think you're really going to get good odds. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I'll take 16-1 on him.
Yeah. Somehow Drake May in North Carolina lost to Virginia last week, or I would have taken the bite on him. How did they lose that game?
What were they? 20 point? What was that? What was that like? 24?
It was something big. Virginia stinks.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, let's break down some games, man. Let's go to Oregon, Utah. Oregon's laying 6.5 on the road. Total's 47.5. I know Maddie from the College Kids, he gave it out a little earlier. Let me go to Rooster here. Rooster, you like anyone in this matchup?
Yeah, I lean Oregon here. I think Utah's set for a little bit of a letdown this week. It was almost like their Super Bowl when they beat USC. They were like all over super happy, this, that, and the other thing. And I just think Oregon is really good. They're a good team. I know it's on the road, but I like Oregon minus 6.5 here. I'd like it.
All right, let's bring on Dave Mason from Bet Online. He's getting ready to join us down there from Costa Rica. Dave, what's going on, brother?
All good, man. All good. NBA's underway. We got that sports equinox going on now. So busy. I mean, what the hell happened to our Phillies, though, man? That was a punch in the stomach the other night. I'm still recovering, but life goes on.
Yeah, you getting a lot of action for the World Series already, or not?
Yeah, there's some, man. I mean, this isn't the this isn't the matchup that
this is a nothing
network,
World Series.
Yeah, this isn't a matchup networks nor sports books is really looking for. We'll book action, especially with our good juice. We have some of the best MLB dime lines out there, and dime lines seem to be like an endangered species these days. A lot of books are going away from them, but we're still posting them. So we get some good MLB action. We have a good MLB following.
All right, let's get down to business. Let's break down some sharp money, some recreational money, what the public's on, what they're not. Let's start off with Oregon. I know what are they, 6.5, total 47 at Utah. Which way are the sharps betting this game? Where's the public at? And do you have any large liabilities on the side or a total?
Yeah, we're currently 6.5 and 47.5, open 4.5 and 49.5. Sharp got on the Utes +7 or more, under 48.5. The bets and the money's all pretty much close to 50-50 at the moment.
All right, let's go to the next game on the board. Tennessee at Kentucky. Been a little bit of movement. I think it's up to 3.5. I see some fours popping up in the market. Total of 52. Which way are the sharps betting it, and which way are the public betting it?
Yeah, we're at 33.5 and 51.5. Open vols -3 and 52.5. Sharp, Kentucky +4. 55% of the cash is on Tennessee. 62% of the bettors are on Kentucky.
All right, let's go to the next game on the screen. Duke at Louisville. I'm seeing some fours out there in the market, 4.5. Total is 46.5. Which way are they betting this one?
Yeah, we're at Louisville 4.5 and 46, open 4 and 47. Cash is 50-50, 59% of the bettors on Louisville. Sharp on Louisville -4.
Now, a little birdie told me you're going to the next game down there in Georgia versus Florida. Total 14.5, 47.5. Someone told me you like to drink a little bit. Is that true, Dave? You headed to the game or not?
Who, me? I'm not going anywhere until March, man, or February.
They got you locked up in that room down there.
Yeah, out of your mind. I do all my traveling like June to August, but shoot. No, man, I wish. But Georgia -14.5 and 48, open 15.5 and 48.5. 72% of the cash and 68% of the bettors are on the Gators. Not too much action yet, so don't look too much in those numbers. And sharp on under 49.
There's no sharp money on the side yet?
Not with us, no. I don't see any at least now.
All right, let's go to Oklahoma. They had a scare last week as big favorites. They're laying 10 on the road at Kansas, 65. Is that still the price on the game, and which way are they betting it?
We're 9.5 and 65, open 10 and 66. 67% of the cash is on KU, and 59% of the bettors are on KU as well. Sharp, Kansas 10.5.
All right, let's go to Clemson. I'm seeing some 10s on the screen, 44 as a total at NC State. Which way are they betting this one, Dave?
Yeah, we're 9.5 and 43.5, open 10 and 43.5. 63% of the bettors and 80% of the cash is on the Wolfpack. Again, not a lot of volume yet on this one. Took some sharp at NC State +10.
How about Ohio State? I'm looking at 14, 14 and a half, 45 in the market at Wisconsin. Is there any sharp money on a side or a total?
Ohio State, we have it at minus 14.5 and over under 45.5, open 14 and 43.5. Let's 63% of the cash and 53% of the bettors are on the Badgers. We also got some sharp on whiskey at plus 15 or more.
All right, Dave, you want to let everyone know where to find you on social media and any promo codes you got down there at BetOnline?
Yeah, at Dave Mason, BOL on Twitter. Head on over to betonline.ag and hit up our promos page for any of all our bonuses, for our welcome bonuses. We got a 50% welcome bonus up to $1,000 with promo code BET1000. If you're using all methods besides crypto, if you're using crypto, it's going to be a 100% match bonus with promo code crypto100. Again, a max bonus of $1,000. Again, betonline.ag/promotions for all the details on those codes.
All right, thanks for coming on. We'll have you back on the NFL segment. Thanks,
Wonderful. Thanks, guys.
Let me go to Jamie. Jamie, let's talk a little bit about Underdog Fantasy Sports and what kind of promos they're giving out real quick.
Yeah, I'm having a really good time, playing on this app. It's, you can play the fantasy, you can play daily fantasy, you can play weekly fantasy, you can play season-long fantasy. They make it so easy where you could just do a pick 'em. So you take two different choices, you do a higher or lower, and they usually give you some kind of really attractive bonus. So you'll take a higher or lower, and if you win 2, you win 3 times your money. If you win 3, you win 5 times your money. If you win 4, you win 10 times your money. You win 5, you win 25 times your money. And so it's a really easy way to get involved without taking a lot of risk with a pretty high upside. So we're having a great time. Any new depositors can deposit up to $500, and they will match double that deposit up to $500 if you use the code WIN.
That's WIN, WIN promo code, underdogfantasy.com. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with our next segment. Don't go nowhere.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
The Sports Betting Show wants you to get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy. And if you want to build your dream team today for this weekend, use their easy mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And right now, for a limited time, when you sign up with the promo code WIN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. You're listening on Sirius XM channel 159, Sports Grid, JAKIB Sports on YouTube, and we're live streaming the show on my Twitter account on X at Philly Godfather. We're talking about Heisman Trophy odds before the break. We were talking to Dave Mason from BetOnline. I want to thank him for coming on. We got Matt Maltepis back from the College Kids. Matt, Marvin Harrison right now, Heisman Trophy at 16-1. You think that's a good price, or would you rather go with Dylan Gabriel 11-1, Jaden Daniels at plus 340, Michael Penix at plus 320? I know you guys gave him out before the season started. Or do you think J.J. McCarthy, who's become the favorite at plus 240, is going to win it all?
I mean, the problem with Marvin Harrison, I mean, he's phenomenal, been amazing, and he's been electric. But the problem is he's a wide receiver, and we all know that the Heisman Trophy, it's a quarterback's award. So, I mean, he has a shot, definitely has a shot, but you got to give the edge always to the quarterbacks.
Yeah. So you think Michael Penix bounces back after last week? He threw 2 interceptions last week against a weak
I mean, we saw Caleb Williams obviously take the loss and not perform up to standard, and there's actually a possibility that he might, just stop playing. There's actually a report of that.
Wow.
But Michael Penix, who knows if he, can bounce back. He did not perform the best It's tough. I mean, we'll see. I really haven't bet anything. So if I didn't put my money on anything, it's hard to say to go out and bet something. I wouldn't do that to anyone. So, yeah, we'll see as time goes.
By the looks of it, I think Caleb Williams stopped playing a few weeks ago.
That's true.
He has 1 touchdown in the last 2 games.
What happened?
Defense, though. It's that defense has been abysmal, though, all year long. I mean, they let Utah score 34 points. And Utah is – honestly, I think they're ranked below 100 in yards per play metric in the nation. Like, that's inexcusable.
Yeah, but if this guy was the guy they said he was going to be, which is like the next Andrew Luck, he stays competitive no matter what. I don't care. Andrew Luck had no offensive line, no defense, no receivers. He didn't even have a helmet half the time, and he came out there and he took a team that couldn't win a game and made him a 9-7, 10-6 team every year. I mean, this guy is no Andrew Luck. Get that name out of your mouth.
They could end up with like 4 losses.
Yeah.
USC. I mean, they've got Cal this week who stinks on the road. Then they got UW at home at Oregon, and then the UCLA rivalry game. They could easily have 4 losses.
Easily.
And the way they've been deflated, I don't know, their mental, I don't know. That team's in trouble. All right, let's talk a little bit about odds to make the playoffs in college football. As of right now, Michigan minus 195. Georgia's at minus 190. Florida State's minus 175. Ohio State at plus 120. Washington at plus 125. Oklahoma at plus 150. Alabama, they were 4-1 last week. Now they're down to 3-1. Texas at plus 320. Oregon at plus 450. Let me go to Rooster first. Rooster, is Alabama the play here out of all those teams to make the playoffs?
They might be. I mean, if you could take 3-1, I would be looking for a little more than that for a 1-loss team. The only other team that jumps out at me there is Oregon, plus 450. Now, I think they get smoked if they got in. But, I mean, I could see them making the playoffs. Plus 450 might be worth a flyer. But, honestly, none of these lines jump out at me to say grab a bet on them.
Let me go to Harry Mays. Harry, any of these prices entice you to maybe make a win?
Not really. But if I was going to take anything, I'd take a little plus money on Ohio State. And I would take Alabama. Alabama's going to beat LSU next week, and that's going to put them in the SEC championship game. And a 1-loss team in the SEC championship game has a chance to beat Georgia. That would be unbelievable.
Yeah, Georgia hasn't really played it all year.
A chance.
I know you're on Georgia, but who they play, Jimmy?
They have a chance.
You're right, a chance.
Okay, a chance.
Oh, you're still on the show, Baba? I haven't heard a word out of you in like 30 minutes.
Well, Rooster, after you shot your low last week with Marshall and Ohio State,
I thought it was just a picture of you. I'm just saying. I thought you just had a picture of yourself on there like the kids do in the Zoom classroom.
Oh, I thought that's what we were getting out of you. I saw a picture of Andy Reid. No, Rooster, I just give out winners. Florida this week, plus 14.
Yeah. Let me go to Jamie. Jamie, any of those prices entice you, or you're not looking to bet any of these teams right now to make the playoffs?
I don't like any of those prices.
They're not high enough for you. Let me go to Matt Maltempis from the College Kids. Matt, you like anybody there?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I stood away. I didn't really bet anything on that one. So.
Yeah, Ohio State. I mean, Harry might be on point because if they beat Michigan, what are they going to be? Probably 6.5-point dogs when they play Michigan, last game of the season. If they win that game, man, they're on
the road. Yeah,
they're on the road. It's going to be a tough. That's a tough game for them, man. That's a tough game. But plus 120. Alabama is really, man, they got my curiosity. Plus 300. They're playing some good football. They outperformed the market last week against Tennessee, and they're coming down the stretch. They're looking like they're gelling. Like they're getting stronger. Watch out for Alabama down the stretch, man. Down the stretch.
The NCAA needs them in the playoffs. TV. It's the bottom line.
It's one of those years. Anything can happen, man. It's the NIL really changed the game, Harry. I mean, it's a lot of teams are competing now. Who's got that money to throw around and get these kids?
Yeah, the rich get richer.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Georgia, Florida here. Let me go to Rooster first, 14.5, 47.5. I like the under. I mean, Florida did put up 41 points last week versus South Carolina and 38 the previous week, but they've struggled to put up points against good defensive teams. And I think they're going to have a little bit of a struggle here too. Who do you like in this game? You like a side or a total here, Rooster?
Yeah, I hate to do it, but I kind of agree with Baba here, taking the 14.5. I mean, I almost changed my pick when he
Please
said
do.
that.
Please do.
Yeah,
So I can mark it a winner right now.
I can't be afraid of the mush all my life. I have to get over this fear, and I'm going to go with Florida plus the 14.5.
Well, for crying last week. I mean, Kaplan won't even come back on the show with Marshall and Penn State game. He's like, no, forget my number, please forget it.
Yeah. I'm still wondering how you picked Miami against the Eagles last week. My mind was spinning watching that game. That was embarrassing to watch.
I'll call it like I said. I lost the game. The Dolphins. It is. I get one for a week.
I mean, how do you get 10 penalties called on the opponent and 0 on yourself?
Oh my God!
The Eagles had 0 penalties in that game. How's that possible?
They were the 4th least penalized team in the NFL. The 4th least. I mean, you got Pittsburgh and Cincinnati tied at 30 penalties apiece. You know what?
We'll get to that on the NFL show, Baba.
Yeah, we need to talk about this.
And I have an answer for that, Harry. Just so you know.
Okay.
All right, let me go to Matt Maltempis.
He's texting me right now, Harry, for the answer.
Matt, who do you like in this matchup? 14.5. Georgia's laying on the road at Florida here. Who do you like in this game?
So when I looked at this game, I mean, Georgia comes into this game 1-5-1 against the spread this year, but they do have a 26.1 margin of victory. But they've had an easy schedule, cupcake schedule, as Jimmy has said before when he took them at the beginning of the season. Florida comes into this game 3-4 against the spread, 9.1 point margin of victory. I mean, Georgia's faced some faster-paced teams than Florida versus an average opponent rank of 65 in seconds per play. With that said, Florida ranks 101. So Florida has some solid wins against South Carolina, Tennessee. It's not my favorite game on the board, but initially, I leaned under. But with the way Florida's defense performed the last 2 out of 3 games, I'm kind of hesitant. They let up 33 points to Kentucky and 39 points to South Carolina. So, I mean, I stood away from this one, but initially I leaned under.
Let me go to Jamie. Jamie, you like anybody in this game?
Yeah, I had talked to you earlier today that I really don't see Georgia covering. I agree with Jimmy, with Rooster. I really like Florida plus 14.5. If it was 13, I probably wouldn't be betting, but I think the 14.5 is a good enough number. Yeah.
Rooster, is one of the major factors Brock Bowers not being on the field? I mean, he's been around 27% of their passing production. Is that a big loss for that team?
It is, but I mean, let's face it, they're stacked. I mean, these top teams, Georgia, even when you look at Alabama, they have 3, 4, and 5-star recruits backing up all these guys. I mean, other than a quarterback and maybe a center and maybe a top defensive lineman, I don't think that it's a big factor with these giant schools.
All right, let's go to the next game on the board here. Oklahoma's lane 10. There's some 9.5 and even 9s in the market at Kansas. Let me go to Matt Maltempis from the College Kids first. You got an opinion on the side or total here, or you don't like the game at all?
So when I looked at this game, Oklahoma-Kansas, I mean, Oklahoma comes into this game tied for the best against the spread record in the nation at 6-1. They currently have the 4th best margin of victory and 3rd best against the spread plus minus. They've been amazing. I mean, they took down Texas. Kansas 3-4 against the spread, only an 8-point margin of victory. And that's the exact reason why Oklahoma's laying 10 on the road in this one. I mean, they had a huge win, like I said, against Texas 2 weeks ago, but they had a bit of a scare last week with UCF, Central Florida winning by only 2 points. I mean, and we look at Kansas on the other side, they smoked UCF 51-22. However, Kansas also got smoked by Texas, who Oklahoma just took out. So it's a tough one. I mean, Kansas coming off a tough loss against Oklahoma State by a touchdown. When you look at Oklahoma's opponents, only one team is ranked worse than Kansas in the opponent yards per play metric. That was Tulsa, and Oklahoma put up 66 on them.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Kansas ranks next to UCF in offensive yards per play metric, and UCF put up 30 points on Oklahoma. So I'm kind of expecting some points to be scored in this one. I'm looking to bet the over 65 in this one, although I have not touched it, but that's something I'm looking to do as soon as I get more information on this game.
Let me go to Harry Mays. Harry, I mean, Bean hasn't looked bad in the backup role. If Jalen Daniels plays here, obviously it changes the dynamics of the game. You like anyone here, side or total?
I don't think he's playing in this game, and that's why I'm staying away from it. This isn't one of my games. I'm interested to see how Oklahoma rebounds after that scare last week, though. I will be paying attention to the game while it's being played, but I'm not putting a wager on it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the Jayhawks, they can't afford to turn over the ball here because Oklahoma has a third best turnover margin per game ratio in college football. So they don't turn the ball over. And if Kansas turns the ball over, I think they're in trouble. It's a high number for a reason. And Gabriel does have one of the best touchdown interception ratios in all of college football. I think he's like 19-3.
He's 19-3. Yeah.
Yeah. If Kansas slips up a little bit, it loses the turnover battle. I think Oklahoma can roll on this team. I haven't bet it yet. I did bet the over 65, so I do like that. Jam, you want to talk a little bit about UnderdogFantasy.com?
Sure. Yeah, I'm on that over 65. I've really liked that.
Make sure you lock it in on that golden recap because last week got a little sketchy. You had us a little dizzy going on right there.
Yeah, we have a new system. We're gonna give out everyone's picks individually from now on.
Make sure you give out Sheep's picks though. Make sure you let everyone know what Sheep's on every week.
Nobody knows.
So
I
Underdog-
text you the picks, so I know you have a problem listening.
We got a minute left. Let Jamie break down.
All right, so UnderdogFantasy.com, they are our new sponsor. Thank you. They have given us a special code WIN, W-I-N, and they will match anything up to $500 that you deposit. You can play daily, weekly, and season-long fantasy, and you can also just pick higher or lower on simple picks. You can win 2, 3, 4, and then win 3, 5, 10 times your money. Having a lot of fun on this app.
All right, there you go there. All right, you listen to the Sports Betting Show on Sirius XM. We got the legend Harry Mays on. We got the Philly Rooster. We got Matt Maltempis from the College Kids. Jimmy the Sheep Batista. We got Jamie Gold, World Series of Poker champion. Stay tuned. We'll be back for the Golden Recap.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
The Sports Betting Show wants you to get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy. And if you want to build your dream team today for this weekend, use their easy mobile app or website, UnderdogFantasy.com. And right now, for a limited time, when you sign up with the promo code WIN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather. And before we go to the Golden Recap, make sure you guys stop by the PhillyGodfather.com for all your sports betting needs. Sports betting packages start at just $3 a day. Jamie, start firing.
All right, here is our golden recap for the week. Philly Godfather likes Georgia, Florida under 48, likes the Tennessee money line, Oklahoma and Kansas under 65. Rooster likes Clemson minus 9.5 against NC State, Kentucky plus 3.5 against Tennessee. He leans on Oregon minus 6.5, and he likes Florida plus 14.5. Matt gave us Oregon and Utah under 48. Tennessee minus 3.5. He's leaning on the under in Florida, Georgia, and maybe on the over in Kansas, Oklahoma. Harry gave us Florida plus 14.5. Michigan State, Minnesota under 40. We got, and he likes Minnesota at 20-13. Kentucky plus 3.5. I talked about Miami, Ohio, and Ohio going under 40, even 39. Florida plus 14.5. Tennessee first half minus 2.5, and Kansas and Oklahoma over 65. Jimmy, unless I missed something, I'm only seeing one big bet from Jimmy this week, and that's Florida plus 14.5.
That is correct. I also have a lean towards I like the Irish this week. I would, if I can lay 19.5, 20 or better, I'm on the Irish this week.
You're laying that big number as usual.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to make sure we write that
Call
down.
that
Matt,
So real quick. Tennessee, you mentioned 3.5. I didn't say that. If they hit 3, I mean, it seems like they're the right side, but I also stated that it did not touch anything yet.
all right, so Tennessee at 3 if it gets there, right, Matt?
Yes.
Okay, is that everything, Jane?
That is it.
Oh, that's the golden recap. I want to thank Harry Mays for jumping on the college football show. Harry, I love you. One of the best guys in the world, living legend out of Philadelphia. I want to thank Philly Rooster. You can find him on Twitter at Philly Rooster. Harry, you want to let everyone know where to find you on social media?
Yeah, at Harry Mays TU on Twitter and Instagram. Even it's TU is for Temple University. They don't have a football team anymore, but I have
keep betting the overs. Just keep betting the overs.
right. Yeah, and they're off this week. I was gonna fade them as usual, but they're off this week. They can't lose.
Let's wrap up the show. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with the NFL show next.
Go get
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
The Sports Betting Show wants you to get in on the action with Underdog Fantasy. And if you want to build your dream team today for this weekend, use their easy mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And right now, for a limited time, when you sign up with the promo code WIN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code WIN.